Hi, everyone. Dr. Maria Sampoulos. Thank you for joining the podcast. We have Dr. Mary Fazelian today from America's Best. She's on the Corporate Optometry podcast, and we're talking about self-care today because it's super important to care about yourself, take care of yourself, and use it for your daily life and for your professional life. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Sampoulos. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. I feel like I should really be interviewing you because you're just such an inspirational figure to me and to so many people. You're definitely one of the figures that inspired me to start sharing my voice and being more vocal. So I really admire your work, and it's such an honor to be here speaking with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. I started the group about 6 years ago, more now. And yeah, it was mostly about giving corporate ODs a voice in the industry where we didn't have a voice. So it's such an honor to hear those things because you do this and you do it to help others. You don't do it to, promote yourself. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
For those of you that do not know Mary, I met her on LinkedIn from her inspiring posts. And, I followed her. I follow her posts every day too. And they're very inspirational and uplifting. Mary started her career in optometry as a tech at LensCrafters and then graduated from ICO in 2005. She's worked for over the years for leasing doctors at Walmart and Sam's Club, moved to the West as she worked as an independent contractor in private practices. And then in 2011, she moved back to Illinois where she found the practice that she really loves to practice in and with National Vision. And in 2022, she became the ambassador and currently one of the newest clinical preceptors. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And serves the Restoring Vision's optical advisory team, strong advocate for National Vision's philanthropy efforts, a member of the AOA and local association in Illinois. And, her following on LinkedIn has grown over 12,000 followers in a year. And that's pretty tremendous accomplishment, especially with so many influencers out there to get that kind of following on LinkedIn. And she really spreads an important message of positivity, self-care, gratitude, and great mindset. And she really loves working and uplifting others. So welcome, Mary, to the podcast.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, what drew you into corporate optometry?
Well, everyone has their own path, and that same path definitely isn't right for everyone. So you really do have to trust your own journey. For me, when I graduated from ICO, I really thought private practice was where I wanted to be. I thought that was the gold standard of success. But once I started working as an independent contractor and for a few private practices for a couple years, I realized that lifestyle, it just wasn't right for me personally. I mean, I love my work, but I really didn't want my work to become my whole life. And that's what was starting to happen. I was kind of exhausted, burnt out, and still just kind of beginning my career. And on top of that, I was really struggling financially. So I knew that I personally needed something different and that the only person who could change my life was me. And that's how I started first focusing on self-care. I really thought about what would make me happy in my career and in my life. And I knew I wanted to work someplace with a great work-life balance. I knew I wanted someplace where I could just focus on doing what I went to school for, which was to see patients. Then I wanted to leave work and not have to worry about like after-hour calls, billing, insurance reimbursement, maintenance, advertising, or any of that. I really just wanted consistency, stability, and benefits. And I really wanted PTO. I wanted to be paid to go on vacation. And while I was on vacation, I didn't want to have to worry about the lack of income those days or who would be seeing my patients while I was gone. I just wanted to enjoy my vacation. And I just wanted to enjoy my career at a place until I retired. And National Vision proved that they could give me all of that and more. So here I am. I've never looked back.
Yeah, it's exciting to hear that doctors are finding happiness with corporate optometry.
Yeah.
And, there's different models and some want sublease, some employed. And it's great to have employed doctors on here because my audience is a lot of younger ODs looking for employment to start out. And it's great to hear that you're able to, have a work-life balance in corporate optometry because there is a big myth on that. And, you're happy too. You're fulfilled in your career.
Yes.
Now, tell us about what your main message is that you spread on LinkedIn because I was inspired and I loved it. That's what drew me to you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm all about spreading that positive energy, having a positive mindset, and focusing on self-care because, life is hard and everyone's kind of going through something. We just don't know what everyone's going through. So if my post can make somebody smile, even if it's just one person, that's really what I'm after and what I want. I don't only share the good things, I share real emotions that I'm feeling because life itself is full of ups and downs. It's not always perfect rainbows and sunshine, but I want to uplift others and share my life with them. And one of the main messages that I have is that I want people to know that they're not alone because it's so easy to feel alone in this world. I personally know what it's like to work in different environments and feel really alone in them. And that's why I always say online that you're never really as alone as you think you are. Sometimes it's really just your environment that needs to change. For instance, now, if I ever have a question about anything at all, my district manager, Fazelian, or my area doctor, Danny David, would literally drop everything to be there for me in a heartbeat because they're amazing at what they do. And that level of OD support that they provide is absolutely priceless. And it's one of the things that makes me want to spend my entire career here. I spread this message of the importance of support because I didn't always have it and I didn't always know how valuable it was until I actually got it. So now I have such an extensive and supportive Doctor of Optometry network. Even my regional vice president, Eric Johnson, is supportive. And LinkedIn is my way to share things with other people that I wish I had known and I wish someone had told me. I really want people to know that happiness is a choice. And if you're not happy, you can change your life and find a place of work that makes you happy. And I know that it's not always so easy. And I know that you can't always leave an environment or a situation. People have lives, bills, expenses, things that keep them somewhere, but you can at least keep your eyes open and never lose hope because nothing stays the same forever and you can find that happiness. So I kind of want to spread the message that we're all in this together and people can be kind and help uplift one another because life's really just a journey.
Yeah. Well, within corporate optometry, a lot of companies have so many stores, right? So you can have, a mentor, another doctor, it could be a regional manager, maybe it's a store manager. You can reach out, right? If you have the same experiences, they can tell you where they went through, right? So that's important within that you have that support, and personal development is great. When I first started, I learned so much, and it was for me, I knew where I wanted to be, and it was a great stepping stone. It kind of really went quickly after that. So for me, it's been great. And LinkedIn and just following other people and listening to their podcasts on personal development, reading, taking the initiative has been a great way for me to grow too. And I think other optometrists can take advantage of that too. How do you come up with these great posts? I mean, they're pretty inspiring and entertaining, and you get a lot of likes and a lot of follows on it.
Well, first of all, thank you for thinking that they're great. Sometimes you just don't know. So I really, really appreciate, you saying that you like them. That really means a lot to me. I would love to say I have a master plan, but I literally wake up and post what I feel like when I feel like it. There's no real recipe for me. I'm really just expressing myself and trying to spread some light in the world, maybe make people smile once in a while. Posting online, it's really my way of bringing people together and sharing my journey in life with others because a little over a year ago, I was just in a completely different place. So like for 10 years at National Vision, I saw patients in one home and saw patients in one home. And that was perfect for me. That's what I liked and that was what I enjoyed and I was perfectly happy. But then in November of 2021, I was kind of looking for a hobby. I just wanted something fun and new to do. So I applied to be an ambassador. And that's when I really started posting online and it was fun. And then I started onboarding new doctors and that was super fun too. The opportunity to work with new grads and new hires, it was so rewarding for me. So I shared about that. And now that I'm a clinical preceptor and involved in philanthropy efforts, I'll probably share about that too, because both of those give me the greatest joy. Like it really gives me purpose and fulfillment to help others and be there for them in this way. So I use the things in life that excite me for inspiration. Like next week, I'm really excited because I'll be attending the new graduate clinical skills workshop. And this is just a wonderful retreat the National Vision hosts for all the new grads who join practices in the network. So I'll be getting to go there and work with them, talk with them, share my experiences with them, and be there for them like we always are. And things like this create a positive culture of friendship and family, but also help the doctors themselves grow as optometrists. So I'm sure I'll share something about that with everyone. And I just didn't know that you can grow so much in your career in corporate optometry. So I'm just sharing my thoughts, and experiences with everyone, and I'll probably post something about this amazing experience with you too, because I never expected to do something as wonderful as this. So it's really about me sharing my life with others, and, maybe it can make someone smile.
Of course, yeah. And what I found over the years is people that, give and help others, they get a lot back from it. They're not looking to take something from it, but the people that are happier, right? And then they're happier, more fulfilled, those that give, that want to do charity, that want to be a clinical preceptor, be a mentor for someone, to help uplift and make a change in someone's career. Those are the positive people. It's also advantages of positive thinking over the years that I've noticed is, less stress, better all physical health, mental health, better coping skills. Power of positive thinking will show you like the roots of where success lies, right? And it'll teach you to believe in yourself, break habits of worry and control in your life, and really control your thoughts and change your attitude on things. Positive thinking is something that I think can really help and change a lot of things in a person's career. If they're in a bad situation, to really transform that mindset and surround yourself with positive people. Maybe it's within this setting. Maybe it's, talking with someone that's gone through this situation before, doing something nice for others that helps you. And it just reminds you of focusing on good things. I mean, there's always going to be roads, speed bumps on the road, but having that positive mindset, I think, is so important. How do you use this in your career and in your optometry and in your regular life?
Well, I just love absolutely everything you just said. It's just so spot on, and I completely agree with it. I think that everything we see, we feel, we think, I think it all comes down to our mindset. You can control how you see things, good or bad. And I know things aren't always perfect. And I know life is hard, trust me, but the way that you see the world around you can really make a difference. So I try to find something to smile about every day, even if it's something super simple like a flower, because there's always something good. Even if you're surrounded by a lot going on or things are kind of hectic around you, it's really the simple things that can bring you so much joy your way. I mean, even if you're just enjoying Netflix, chocolate, pizza, things I talk about all the time that make me really happy, you might have a bad day, but you can make it into a good one. And that's up to you. Your perception and your perspectives are up to you. So maybe something happened because that's life, but at the end of the day, you can decide what kind of day it is, and we have more control than we think we do, and we can create the environment that we want to be surrounded in. For instance, as a newer preceptor, the opportunity to work with students is precious because we all remember what it's like to be a student during our rotations, and we all remember our rotations for the experiences that they provided, however they were. So when I accept students, for instance, I want my students to know that not only will they always have me there for them, but I want them to leave with confidence in themselves, and I want them to have had a great learning experience in a positive and uplifting and supportive environment that I help to foster and create. Because we all know that things don't always go perfectly, but I try to see the positives and make the environment around me fulfilling. I really think that your lifestyle can be affected by your mindset.
Yeah, it's very true. And, if you have a negative mindset, I think it really takes you to the burnout stage a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And I think that's important too. And self-care is essential for ODs to avoid burnout. Changing your mind and having higher purposes and meaningful work can really lead to effective weapons to fight burnout.
Mhm.
And for me, over the years, learning self-care and learning to say no, setting boundaries, staying home, taking care of yourself first, will help, with your relationships with your patients,
Mhm.
with your staff, with your family. A lot of optometrists are parents, so you have to take care of yourself first to be able to take care of your children very good. So sometimes it's prioritizing your sleep habits and hoping that you can sleep if they're not little. Exercise, nutrition, social connections, just taking a break and meditating, journaling, and just enjoying nature are some ways for self-care. How do you practice self-care?
I think self-care is so important, and you are right. It's kind of hard for us to focus on that with ourselves sometimes, but we have to prioritize it for ourselves. If you don't take care of yourself, it's hard to take care of for others the way that they need you to be there for them. So personally, I like to go to the sauna. That heat forces my body to relax. I force myself to stay hydrated, even though I'm not really a fan of water. I try to drink it as much as I can because I know that it will affect my health and my moods. I like going to the gym, to the lake. Water is always so soothing for me. I like going into forest preserves for walks. I love anything stars, the solar system, space, just gazing at the sky. Nature really helps me remember that this planet is huge. The solar system is even bigger, and our lives are pretty temporary. So we have to really enjoy them. And even if it's just, something simple like eating a great meal, getting a haircut, grabbing some fries, having, a manicure at home that you do yourself, whatever it is, as long as you focus on yourself just a little bit, you can be there for others as well. And you can enjoy your life as much as possible. And everyone's a little different. Like only you know what your self-care needs really are. But sometimes we're so used to putting everyone else first. And that's a normal thing for people who care about others to make sure everyone else is taken care of. But then, we really forget to focus on ourselves. So it's because we have such a giving nature, but we matter too, and we have to take care of ourselves as well. So I self-care is not something that comes naturally to me. I really had to learn to do this for myself. So I tend to remind myself every day, don't forget to focus on yourself. Drink your water, have some fun, do something that brings you joy. And you can find something that brings you joy, even if it's small, every day. It's just so important to focus on yourself too. And you can still be there for others as well.
That's correct. Our positions are so demanding. Patients want so much from us. Practice self-care is so important. The other thing that I found out over the years is gratitude being so important, right?
Absolutely.
Practicing gratitude, increasing empathy, your outlook, you have higher self-esteem, more inner strength. Just to look back and say, I have all these things that I've come across and succeeded, and look back on it and be like, wow, I did this. And then when I did a podcast on optometry all over the world, I got so much gratitude from what we can do here in the US, our scope of practice, and how limited a lot of optometrists are. So from those podcasts, I got a lot of reflection and be like, I'm going to work today and I'm able to dilate, and I don't, I can do that. I'm able to help this patient. I mean, we have resources to help patients in need, patients that might not have high income, and we can provide them glasses. Where did a podcast for in Africa, and the guest said that some patients, but some young ladies aren't able to go to school because they only can afford one pair of glasses. So they send the boy to school and the girl stays home. So that was kind of like a moment for me to be like, I can make a difference in my local community, make a difference in the world, right? Like you're part of the advisory board for philanthropy, which is great. Yeah. And I think that probably brings you a lot of gratitude. I think, people that seek to help others are more alive, more driven, more fulfilled. And it's great for greater purpose than themselves. And I think that's why a lot of us go into optometry, is really to help others. So why is gratitude and mindset so important to you? And how can others learn from this?
Well, I think we all know that life isn't always 100% perfect, but being grateful for every day, it really helps me stay positive and focused. I know what it's like to struggle a bit. I'm so grateful for so many things because like before I worked for National Vision, I was kind of, one of those that was kind of worried about affording a place to stay, paying my loans, and supporting whoever was depending on me. It was tough even as a doctor. Like, people think that once you become a doctor, you never have to worry about finances again. And for some people, maybe that's true. But for me, that really wasn't the case. And that's not the case for all of us. I had people that were depending on me that I needed to provide for, and it was a struggle. So I think when you've had a hard time, it really kind of helps you appreciate when things are better. And that's why I appreciate everything. I appreciate my career in optometry and corporate optometry so much, because it gave me the stability that I needed to get back on my feet financially and be able to help the people that were relying on me. And I'm grateful that I can enjoy my career and my life outside of my career because of it. And I'm also grateful for life's little surprises and twists and turns, because sometimes they're blessings, and it's really all about, like we talked about, your mindset and how you look at things. I didn't think my journey in life would bring me here in my career, but I'm so grateful it did, because I know how hard things can be. So to me, working in corporate where I'm at, it feels so much calmer, smoother, and more relaxing than what I personally was used to before coming here. Kind of like, if you've seen the dark, you really appreciate the light. So I don't really take anything for granted ever. Even things like having enough food, like being warm, these are things that, were a struggle once. And things like being able to wear what I want, say what I want, think what I want. These are things that a lot of us take for granted in general, but that not everyone, and even in our country, has and is able to do. So nothing in life is guaranteed, not even your next day. But I think that when we see life from a perspective of gratitude and have a grateful heart, life can be so much more fulfilling. And then that's how you can really appreciate every moment and every day.
Yeah, that's well said. Thank you so much. I think gratitude's super important. Growth mindset in optometry, thinking outside the box, maybe taking a whole box out, and I think that's important too, because a lot of doctors will look at, optometry right now and have a negative mindset. There's so much opportunity out there. There's so much career advancements, whatever you want, right? You have to know what you want, but you have to be happy with yourself first to be able to find what you want and know what you want. So corporate optometry can be the great option for you if that's what you want. It's been great for me over the years, great for Mary. You just got to be happy with yourself first. You have to fix yourself first and know what you want to get there. And, try to break some of those toxic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If they're there, you have to be able to, break that cycle and recognize it. So take a step back, look for personal development, and, be a better person for yourself so you can be better for your patients. And the more positive you think, the more you'll attract, right?
Absolutely.
And you'll have one of those patients that might derail your day. You don't focus on that. You focus on the positives, and you can make a huge difference in your career. And sometimes it's the little things we take for granted in our career. Like a patient was getting headaches, and all he needed was glasses. And the next year, he said, "I don't have headaches anymore. I'm so happy, that you helped me solve that." Then we had a patient that almost, stroke. We sent them to the ER, right? Saved their life, right? You take those. And then one patient just, I've been seeing for a couple of years, is taking glaucoma drops. And he said, "We're so thankful to have you here, Dr. Spouse, to take care of our eyes." And I was, it took you back. It makes you happy, right? Because you're doing this, but some people take you for granted, unfortunately. But don't think, your positive mindset and, what we started for, what our purpose was, will bring it all back into one full circle. So I want to thank you, Mary, for coming on the podcast. Such a positive, enlightening podcast today. And I think it'll help a lot of doctors get a good message. And if they're struggling with something, hopefully it can inspire them to make a change.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sampoulos. This was such an honor. I'm so glad I met you. You're such a wonderful person, and thank you for shining some light in the world as well.
Thank you so much.